here. Nope, they've chose to go there. They've brought out their permaban for this best of one.
I'm assuming these two teams know each other very well, and it was complained on Twitter that the play day schedule was actually...
Because I feel as though a lot of the time I watch Cafe, kind of stomps. Kind of the vibe I'm going with.
I think making sure that as soon as the first trade comes out, they can be on the decent side of it. Now, as the first body finally starts to fall, Wizard. But look, Groovy, he's going for the plan. He thinks he's got it comfortably, and, well, it's not very comfortable, but he is going to lock it. The cover goes down, and so does Groovy, but a post-plant, and in a position where they can watch this from above. A 3 versus 3, they're going to have to go for the retake itself. They cannot just strengthen this one out, baiting the play, perfectly put and postured here by Sark, spraying onto Tyrant. The swing on Pillar levels it out, but there's the cover from above. 20 seconds. They're not quite sure which is the route to go through. It's a deep send of the Monty, and they've found somebody they want to play with, but it's the cover from Jegs that's able to net out the kill, and it was almost a bit touch and go, and there they go. Knocked out by the player cut and camped in the corner, the breach either side. 25 seconds, it's caught in the middle, but the only one burnt out so far is Jegs. They drop out. Go for the rotate, can play themselves. I was going to say underneath, but then they are locked out too. It is Azza and Leader fighting and biting their way back up the stairs. A 2 versus 2, and they're going to see if they can try and get the kit planted. They have to operate now. Fnatic is the only bit of cover, but there it is, the trade out, the 1 versus 1. A little bit narrow, but instead they're going to go for the hop over the half wall and maybe get the shield on the back, face it away. Instead of giving them the long fight, they just want the coat cross, and there it is, the shield. Perfectly played. They cannot get the connection, and they've read them like a book, but the C4 doesn't need to read fresh. It is death in every language.
Fnatic to execute into them again, and they should win this round pretty comfortably.
Setting up recon drone.
Well, here's the play, and here's the push, and there's the swing. They get the coat check player, and now they've been able to get themselves across the divide, but as they get the kill over the cover, Jegs is gone. They're stuck in the middle. Tyrant tears a couple apart, and Deepek now all that is left. The player with all the experience that he has, revealed by the camera.
The plant goes down, or the plant doesn't go down because the C4 kills the Monty. Then Wolves were going to win it. And of course, we see those bans.
Pro fight, and well, that's not going to be the first start. Makes their way through, concerned about the pressure from both above and below. Look at the player inside of the train room, and oh, Krex just pushes on, tears the head off of Groovy off, and well, there's a moment where the Monty would have been better. There's a moment where Krex is just better. Behind the tree, finally shut down, but 2 huge losses here for Fnatic's approach.
Yeah, absolutely. Az is going to pick up Deepek as well. And I think I said it. I said Groovy is not naturally a shield player. I think we saw it there and then. Little bit ill-advised Monty play. Krex had an awful day yesterday statistically. He was trying to get involved, trying to be part of those entries. Really struggled, but today...
He's waiting, anticipating for this call, and exactly then, that's when he goes, when the player pulls on towards Pillar, because now they are trapped. That space they can move in is smaller than ever. There's one gone. Jegs had to look back for the previous fight, and what a bait and switch there. Good lockout here from Wolves. Now with 50 seconds on, the pressure over the top. I was so hoping that grenade would roll down just because it would be really funny, but it isn't. Instead, Tyrant kills Deepek, the opposite. What was the trade out? The Nomad is gone, and there goes Leader. Back and forth we go, blow for blow, but importantly, the wall stayed electrified. The grenade bounced not towards the right place. The claw kept it active, potentially all the way underneath inside the freezer, and that means the plan has to change. Instead, they rotate their way down under, try and find the fight on towards Noodle, maybe trying to get themselves some clarity, but in the meantime, they've just flooded the other side, because why not? If we can't get plan A to work, well, let's try and lock it on plan B and hope they don't know it. Well, they know something's up. There's the swing. There is 2. And Wolves, they're able to snap that sneaky little Fnatic attempt shut. Here goes the start of the action. The flashes drop and the players follow suit. And there's the play. The impact stops the gadget, but they are already through. Hopping past. There's another one. Laying it in close, and the plant is being attempted. Tyrant, he's going to slowly dabble, hop up and down, and oh, he gets the lockout. And here Wolves They waited and then they operated. And that just leaves Wizard alone. Gets one, but now they have the vertical as well, Fresh. They've got the player tucked on above. They know exactly where the kit is, and now they know where Wizard is. It's a 4-2, surely. There it is.
To avoid the defenders retaking back through the sense walls, and that's exactly what Wolves did. Two players literally just YOLO'd through the sense walls, found the kills on the guys planting and the guys covering, and that was it. It was a good idea from Fnatic. They just didn't execute that attack whatsoever.
Well, at this 20 seconds stretch, and they're still setting up the architecture, and well, that allows them to spray through. It's a 5 versus 2, as they do get the legs of a player. That's a gift, but they've got to see if they can make it wrapped up as a round. They're tucked and they're encircled. And, oh, they get one. They don't get the second, though. Leaves the C4 long-armed and caught from behind. And there it was, just the quick zip, and they're off to the site itself, already in. Leader, he's driven further and further, and that C4 just misses 2 bodies, but the spray through either side, there's one apiece. It is getting scrappy out here, but Wolves come off a slight bit ahead before Wizard knocks them right back. Consistently has been Fnatic's bright spot, but he's going to have to still keep stepping up. Under a minute, and you can hear them start to close the pressure around, but oh, a bit of emotion. They're going for the fight, and somehow Wolves get that one locked in.
Defender, but currently the defenders are still playing somewhat inside of sight. The Echo drone from Deepek's being shot out. Azza has now taken Sarks off the board. Wizard is literally 1 HP. This should be the go point for Wolves. They can now execute and hold every retake. They can hold Red Hole. They can hold the double doors back into sight. They can hold long lines of sight from Bakery as well. And Krex is on the red stairs here.
Holding glass.
Well, here goes the cover of the smokes. Here goes the rotation. Single C4 that was a connector before, and they don't have that, but they do have a couple of impacts, and oh, they are threading the needle, but they just weren't narrow enough. Long sprays through, but at this point with 20 seconds and a lockdown, Fnatic, they just have the angles. They know exactly what the plan was, and without these 2 almost kills being fully connected in time, yes, they get 1. They do not have the time to push themselves on towards the others. Fnatic. Oh, I was going to say not locked out. Surely Jags will get the lockdown. They got to get a bit of a move on. Where is the player? There it is.
If in the end, got it to a 1 versus 1. But Grubby got those devastating kills from inside of sight. He never should have been inside of sight because it should have been cleared through vertical. So a little bit of pressure. I wouldn't expect Wolves to falter, to be honest.
No.
I think they've been better. But round 6 does do funny things. Look at that. That was perfect, by the way. The nade at the same time as... They've still got the man advantage and the time advantage, and they managed to get it down on Azza. So it's going well so far for Fnatic. They finish off that kill on Azza. So
we've hung sort of tent poles on throughout this night. You can see, obviously, they've still got the Blackbeard, so they can get themselves a route in. The Blackbeard makes their way down the stairs, but the fight is on Pillar. And there's Sarks caught out. There's the drop inside Wash, but Jegs does get rid of the Blackbeard, a huge, huge operator to take off the board. It leaves Tyrant and Noodle, seeing if they can try and get this locked out, or if Jegs and Deepek can keep this one still fighting for exceptionally experienced players here from the game itself. 10 seconds to try and get the final breakthrough. There goes the Nomad, there goes the second.
Did a great job of managing that aggression early round. They baited out a lot of utility. All the nades are gone on the side of Wolves. They got the opening kill, but Azza found one back. Noodles found one back for the man advantage. We know how important that is. Crucially, Noodles still has both smokes.
Here, Fnatic try and restructure and go for it. They're smart enough to read on the approach and the play. In 20 seconds, they don't have much room for error, but look at this position they found. There's a great play, getting the swing onto it. It's locked down. It has to go, go, go. The motion on Pillars was huge, but they're stuck in everything, it seems. Fresh. There's the spray. There's the drop. There is a 1 versus 1 as Azza is down. Does Wizards know? It doesn't matter at this. They pull off anyway. They didn't know that he didn't know. At this point, it is just holding, waiting, and anticipating the pressure on the catch on the side of Wedding. They're tucked in the corner. Jegs does get Krex, but it's Sarks that is really in this danger power position here. It's all or nothing, and he has some options to support, but Jegs does not want to just give up the land. It'll make it too within, 2 out of the position. Sarks fights his way out on the grenade, comes great to get a kill from it.
He has the vert now. He has the vert to use against the attackers.
20 seconds here, Fresh. The vert is his. Leader has a single bolt left on that to try and drive behind the kit. There's also still a C4 from the side of Defect, so it really depends where they try and get the depot on, and they're not going to play underneath it. They've just taken them by surprise, Fresh. 2 quick kills. The vert is all that they have. And now as they go for the plant, you're looking for 1. Jex does get the kill, but a post-plant situation. For the spray, ready for the angle. Instead, the pings are revealing that maybe they can get a bit lucky here, but they've got to make some noise. That's the wrong kind. Wolves finally push it over the end, but you've got to give credit to...
A game of similarities, even if it was very, very dominant for periods of time. And it came down to that very final round, where realistically Fnatic should have got it done. We should still be talking about an overtime now.
I don't get it.
It was a great call, though.
Yeah, the call is really good. And I kept looking, I saw all of the guys on the side of Fnatic were on bulletproof cams. I don't know where they were. I don't know how you don't have the information that someone is running down that main hallway. As soon as you know someone is upstairs, you know that guy's gonna be watching prep and is gonna be watching the breach. That means that the rest of the anchors, at least one needs to be watching the hallway. And I don't